Welcome to DataPencil. Hello everyone, welcome back to our SQL plus AI course. I hope you all are doing well. If you are new to this channel, then let me introduce that this course is absolutely free, and after completion of this course, you will earn certificate. So a quick reminder, so if you want to join this course, you can simply WhatsApp us on the number shown on the screen. You can also join our WhatsApp channel that you are seeing here. All important updates, announcements and batch related information are shared there regularly. Do subscribe to our channel DataPencil so you won't miss any update which will be about upcoming batches and the sessions. If you are active on LinkedIn, then you can also follow Kalyani Bhatnagar and DataPencil. I regularly post SQL based polls there which help you to practice and strengthen your SQL thinking on daily basis, right? So till now we have discussed how to read the data, how to filter it, how to join different tables, and then how can we summarize our result by using aggregate functions, by using a limit. Okay, but today we will add one more intelligence to our query, and this thing is called case when. So what is this case when we can use it? Each and everything we will see in this module. Okay. Now listen very carefully. So till now we had studied that our output result can be something like this, where there might be few columns, okay? But if we want to interpret any column using some other words, okay, if we want to interpret a column, okay, with other meaningful words, then how can we interpret? How can we interpret? This thing we can see. Let's take a very small example, a very easy example, so that it will be easy for you to understand what I'm talking. So suppose guys, there are several students in the class, okay, and they are scoring some marks, right? The job of a student is to score marks only. Yeah, so suppose student 1 scored 90 marks, student 2 scored 78 marks, student 3 scored 63 marks, and fourth one got 48. Okay, fifth one got 55, something like this. Okay, but we want to interpret these marks as excellent, as pass, or as fail. We want to interpret these marks in these terms, using these terms. So how can we do it? So definitely there will be some condition through which we can say you are excellent, you are pass, you are failed. Okay. So suppose the condition is if a student is securing marks more than or equal to 90, then say that you are excellent. If they are scoring more than 60, then say that you are pass. If they are scoring other than these marks, means less than 60, then say them that you are failed now. Okay, so this is the interpretation as excellent, as pass, as failed. Now how can we do it in the SQL? So we will simply use their case when. Case when does what? It will provide different conditions. If these conditions are fulfilled, then term them as this, whatever value you want. Term them as excellent, term them as pass or fail. Okay, so case when will help us to create different cases based on requirements, or to provide different conditions and then interpret them according to our values, whatever value we want to give. So let's see how can we write using this same example, and what is the syntax. So we can simply say that we will firstly select our columns. Okay, after selecting the columns, suppose these are two columns that we have selected. After that we will apply case. Okay, and we will write this case after the comma, means the first column, second column, and in the place of third column we will apply case, means at the place of third column we want these results, we want these results. So suppose the third column, the interpretation column, we want as grade. Okay, we want as grade, and here you have to write excellent, pass or fail. So here instead of writing this third column, we are making this third column by applying this case concept. Okay, so see very carefully, then it will be very clear, and it's a very easy thing. Now case when, first condition is when marks are greater than 90, then say them as excellent. Okay, when marks are greater than or equal to the 60, then say them pass. Else, okay, else term them as fail. These are the conditions. We have to write it in this way: when, then the condition, and then, okay, then the value that we want. Again, when, second condition, then the value for this condition, right? The last condition, else, if it is not fulfilling any above criteria, the else, write fail. And now we have to end this code. So we will write end, okay? And after end, we will give this, because it is a column basically, so we will give this column a name as you can say grade or result, you can say, or anything, okay, as per the requirement. After that, we will simply write the name of our table from which we are taking these things. So we will write here from students table. This is it. Okay. Now what happened? We will get our result. In the result, there will be first column, then the second column, and in place of third column, we will have this grade. Okay. Now, how SQL will work? So SQL will check the marks row by row of our original table. SQL will firstly attend the first row and check if this condition is fulfilling. If not, then it will go and check this condition. If this condition is fulfilling. If not, then it will check, it will simply write, okay, fail. Then SQL will attend the second row of our original table and it will check if this condition is fulfilling, marks are greater than 90. If yes, it will write excellent. Okay. If not, then it will check with the second condition. If this one is fulfilling, then it will write pass and so on. I hope it's clear, guys. Okay. So SQL will basically check the row by row. Okay. Row by row means it will check the original table row by row. If conditions fulfill, then it will return a value, new value. This new column was not there in our original table. This new column is being created by this case and when. Okay. So when we can use this case when we have to categorize our data. For such cases, we can use it. When there is a need to categorize our data, when there is a need to flag the records, okay, if it is yes or no, if there is any business rule when we have to apply that, okay, or we have to make our decisions. In such cases, we will use the case when, and the basic syntax is simply write case and then when. Here you will write condition, then here you will have to give the result, whatever you want. Then again when condition, then if this condition is fulfilled, then the result will be this. Okay, else result should be this. If these conditions are not fulfilled, then the result should be this. And in the end, the mandatory part is that we have to write end and give this column one name, right? So this is about the case when. Now we can also do the same by using if else. We can also do the same by using if else. But the problem with the if else is this, that one thing is that if else exists only in MySQL. Okay, it is not there in our Postgre or SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. It is only in MySQL. The second thing is this, that when we will use the if else, then there are chances of error because the code is a bit messy there. Okay, there are several parentheses that we have to use, right? So for the multiple conditions, the code is not that clear, or you can say clean code, but still we have to see how can we apply if and else statement as well, because otherwise our study will be incomplete. So we should be aware about it. If we will see any code related to if and else, then we have to be aware about it. We should know that what it is all about. Okay, so see the same thing, how can we write using the if else statement. So what we will write if we are using if and else statement? So we will simply write select, okay, our columns, then if then we will give our first condition here. If marks are greater than or equal to 60, then give the result as pass. If this condition is not fulfilled, then give the result as fail. Okay, and then we will write from students. So we have here two options only, so it seems very easy, but suppose there are more than two options. Now there is an option of excellent, pass and fail also. So suppose if the marks are greater than or equal to 90, okay, then say them as excellent, right? And if this condition is not fulfilled, then again use one more if condition. Then again use one more condition. If marks are greater than or equal to 60, then call them as pass. Okay, if this condition is not fulfilled, then say them fail. Suppose if there are more condition, then instead of this fail, we will apply one more time if. Okay, and if other condition is also not fulfilled, then we will apply if one more time, and this story will continue like this. We will see the example as well, a proper example when we will open MySQL Workbench. Then we will see how to write this if and else statement. So how can we miss the parenthesis? There is one parenthesis for this if statement, then there is one parenthesis for this statement, and this is also called nested. Okay, this is called nested. So because inside if there is one more if, so there is a nest of ifs, that's why we can call it as nested also. So here we can there are chances that we might miss the parenthesis, but as we are in the era of AI, and we can easily recognize what error we are getting, how to fix it, so it is not a big problem. The problem is this, that if statement and else, it is not used by Postgre or MySQL, sorry, Microsoft Workbench, Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, so this is about the case when. Now let's see another example of case when, so that things will be more easy for you to understand. Okay, so case one is about, you have to find the customers spending category. Means if the customers spent, total spend is greater than 10,000, then call those customers as premium customers. Okay, if total spend is greater than 50k or equal to 50k, then call them as gold customer. Otherwise call them as regular customer. How can we do it using case when? So we will simply write whatever columns we firstly have to select, we will select those, and then we will apply case for the third column or second column, whatever it is. Case when, okay, total spend is greater than or equal to 10,000, then call them as premium customer. When total spend is greater or equal to 5,000, then call them as gold customer. Else call them as regular customer. And now end this, and we will give it a name as we can say category, okay, from table name, and this is it. So we had three options: premium customers, gold and regular. We have divided them on the basis of their total spend, and this is the way by which we can divide. Okay, this thing will give us one output, and the output will be something like this. There will be customer ID, customer name, or if it is required, order ID, customer name, and then their category. Category can be premium, can be gold, can be regular. We are making this category, okay, we are making this category using this code. How we are making this this column? How we are making this column? We are making this column using this case when. So the first column after the select, the second column, and for the third column we are writing this whole code. I hope it's clear. Okay, see one more example. Now suppose you have to fulfill two conditions at a time. What two conditions? If the total spent is greater than or equal to 10,000, okay, as well as the other condition is order count, means total orders also greater than 10. If total spent is greater than 10,000 and total orders are also greater than 10, then call such customers as premium. Okay, this is the first condition. Second condition is if total spent is greater than or equal to 5,000 as well as their total order or order count is greater than 5, then call them as gold customer, else call them regular customer. So here we have to fulfill two conditions at a time. How can we do it? So for this also we will firstly write select our columns, then case, then we will write when the first condition where total spent is greater than 10,000, and this condition also we will write here. So order count is also greater than 10, and here we will apply and. Okay, when TS is greater than 10,000 and order count is greater than 10, then say them as premium. When total spent is greater than 5,000 and order count is also greater than 5, then call them as gold, else say them as regular from this and end. Okay, if we have to fulfill any one condition, if any one condition is fulfilled, and then we can simply call them premium, means either this condition is satisfying or this condition is satisfying. If any one condition is satisfying, then you can call them as premium. So for the such case, what we can do? So if any one, for such thing we will replace this and with the or. When total spent is greater than 10,000 or order count is greater than 10, then call them premium. When total spent is greater than 5,000 or order count is greater than 5, then call them as gold, else call such customers as regular customer. Okay, I hope this thing is clear, guys. So we have seen few cases here. Now let's open a MySQL workbench, and the practical things will gives us more clarity, right? Now I have opened MySQL workbench, and I will create a new database, and the name of this database will be case statement. Okay, create database case statements. Now let's run this and refresh from here. Here our case statements database is created. Now I will create a table, and the table is orders table. Okay, in this table there will be order ID, customer name, total amount, order status, payment mode, and order date will be there. Let's run it. Before running it, we will write use case statement, and firstly run this. Now it's highlighted. Now we will run this code. Okay, so when you will refresh, you will see your orders table is created. Now let's enter the data here. I will give this code to you as well, guys. Okay, I will provide these values, don't worry. So now I am running these values, and now let's see how our table looks like. So this is our table. In this table we have order ID, customer names, total amount, order status, payment mode, and the order date. Now we will do some queries one by one. All these queries will be definitely based on this case statement. So if there is a need to get the interpretation of the result where we need to seek order value category, means if the order amount is greater than 5,000, suppose. So let me write it, order value category. Okay, now if order amount is greater than 5,000, then term it as high. Okay, else low. This is the condition. If amount is greater than 5,000, then term this high, otherwise write it low. So how can we do? We will select in our output window what columns should be there. So in our output window there should be order ID, because we are categorizing the order value. So we need to have order ID as well. Okay. Now along with the order ID, what else we must have? We must have total amount. And the last column will be this category. So we will write category. Now how we will write our code? So firstly we will write select what? Select order ID, comma, total amount. Okay. Now the third column we are going to make, means the categories now we are going to create using the case. So we will firstly write case when total amount is greater than 5,000. Okay, then termed it as high. Okay, else termed it as low. Right, now we have to simply write end this, and we are giving this column a name called category. Right, so we have selected first column order ID, then we have selected order amount, and the third column, which will be this category, for this column we have mentioned this code. Okay, by using this code we will get our categories. It can be high, it can be low. Okay, and at the last we will write the table, means the table from which we are fetching the data. So this is our tables. Now just run it. Okay, so here you can see you have order ID, order amount, and the category. This is high order value, this is low, this is low, this is high. I hope it's clear. Okay, now another query is saying to show delivery status message. Okay, show delivery status message. How can we get the delivery status message? So the condition is, if the order status is, here you can see order status. Here you can see order status. Okay, if it is saying delivered, if this status is saying delivered, then write the status as completed. This order is completed. Okay, if it is saying cancelled, okay, then say it lost. This order is lost. If it is pending or anything else, then say it is in progress. Okay, so the condition is, if delivered, then say what? Completed. And if cancelled, then say what? Lost. If any other thing, okay, any other case, then say it progress. These are our requirements. Now how will we write? So the final table will carry which column? So it will contain, first is order ID is a must, and then after that simple this status message, delivery status message. Is it completed or not, or the order is lost, or it is in progress. We want these two things only. Okay, so for the second column, and we will give the column name as status, delivery status. Okay, so for this second column we need case when, and this is already we have. So what we will write? We will write select order ID, and it is and now second column we don't know delivery status, and we are now obtaining this. So for this we will use case statement when order is status equals delivered, then say it as completed. Okay, when order status is cancelled, then say it lost. Apart from this, write else it is in progress. We can say this, okay? And now we are ending this column and give this column a name, and name should be delivery status. This is basically not a delivery status, it is order status. So we will write here order status. Okay. Fine. Now give the name of the table. So it is orders table. There is one apostrophe is missing. Now let's run it. So here we have order ID and their order statuses. Order ID is first, status is completed, second one is in progress, then lost, then completed, and so on. Okay. Now our third query is to categorize the payment type. How can we categorize our payment type? Suppose if the order's payment is in a card or UPI, okay, if the card or UPI, then we will say it a digital payment. If it is in cash, then we will say it as cash payment. So how can we write it? We will write card or UPI, then call it digital. If it's in cash, then call it cash payment. Fine. Now what columns we need in our output window? So we need order ID and payment mode, as well as the payment type, what type of payment it was. So payment type, and this payment type will be decided by our options, our interpretations. Okay, how can we find it? So these two columns we know, we will simply select them. Select order ID, select payment mode, and after that the third one we will get using the case when. So we will write case when payment mode is equals to card, then call it a digital payment. When payment mode is equals to UPI, then call it digital payment. Okay, else call it cash payment. And now end these options and give this column one name, and this column's name is payment type or payment mode. So payment type, not mode. Give it a name, payment type. Okay, this is it. From which table? So from orders table. Now when you will run it, you will have 3 columns in your output window, and there is one error because I've used here double M. Now run it again, and here you have 3 columns. So first one is order ID, then payment mode, and then the payment type. Okay. Now one more query, and this is saying to add discount eligibility flag. How can you add discount eligibility flag? If the total amount of the order is greater than 1000, okay, if total amount is greater than 10,000, then say it is eligible for the discount. Okay, then it is eligible. If it is not, then call it not eligible. Right? So again, what 2 columns we want? So we want simply order ID in our output window. We want what else we want? Total amount we want, and also we want flag. Okay, discount flag. So these two columns we can get easily by selecting them, and the third column we will get by using case when. So select order ID as well as total amount, and for the third column cases are if when total amount is greater than or equal to 10,000, then say it eligible, else say it not eligible, and end this, give the name of this column as discount flag from orders table. Okay, now when you will run it, you will have your desired output window. Here it is eligible, this one is order ID 2 is not eligible, this is not eligible, and so on. So why I am doing these same type of questions? It is because it is mandatory, it is necessary to practice. When we will do the practice of the same question again and again, then it will be easy for us in the future to use the concept in a critical query. Okay. If there will be a lack of practice, then there will be definitely a difficulty for us to use this when we are merging this concept with our big queries, right? So the practice is mandatory, guys. I will provide set of questions exercise to you. You are regularly getting your PDFs, so please do practice. Okay, now let's take some different question. Yeah, so the query is identify the order as weekend order, okay, or weekday order. Tell whether it's a weekend or it's a weekday order. So how can we identify? For this we will use a function called day of week. Okay, day of week. What this day of week function does, this will basically extract the name of the day of week, means if it's Wednesday, if it's Monday, so it will extract from the order date. So we will apply this day of week function, okay, before the on the order date. We will apply this function and we will get if it's Monday or not. But the answer of this thing is not like a Sunday, Monday. No, answer is not like this. Answer will be 1, 2, 3. So Sunday is 1, Monday is 2, Tuesday is 3, likewise. Okay. So what we will do, we will firstly extract the day of week. Then if it is in 1 and 7, okay, if the output is 1 or 7, 1 means Sunday and 7 means Saturday, then call it as weekend. Okay. Otherwise, for other days 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if these are the outputs, then call it weekday. Simple. So what things we have to select? We have to select order ID. I'm writing directly, select order ID, and the second column, which will be orders day type, we will find it. So how can we find it? We will apply case concept when. Now day of week, okay, this function we will apply on order date in what 1, 7, okay, then termed it as weekend, else termed it as weekday, and I'm ending this code and give this column a name order day type from orders table. Right, now let's run it. So here you have order day type. So all orders are of weekday. Okay, no order is of a weekend. If, all orders are, the type is weekday. No, one is no weekend is also here. Okay. My eyes are getting weak, I guess. Yeah. So here weekend is also here. First is weekday, then weekend, then weekday, then weekend, and so on. Okay. Now let's see another example. Now we will see few examples of if else as well. Okay, although we don't use this much, but still we should be knowledge about if else. So your query is tag the order as high or low order, and the condition is if total amount is greater than 5,000, then termed it as higher order, okay, else tagged it as low order. So how can we do using the if and else? We will simply select our desired columns, which is order ID, okay. Then for the next column, we will simply write if. The syntax is that firstly we will give the condition, okay, and then we will give the value, whatever value we want. If this condition satisfied, then this value. If this condition doesn't satisfy, then another value. By using comma, we give another value. So see carefully. If total amount, okay, is greater than 5,000, if this condition satisfies, then term this amount as high, okay, comma. Now we will write the value that we want if this condition will not satisfy. So we will write here low, okay, and we will give this also one name, order value from orders table. Now as we have only two options, high and low, so it seems easy, okay, but this is this will become a messy code if we have more options. So why it is saying error here? Because okay, here it should be a comma. Now let's run it. So here we have order IDs and order value. We did it by using if and else. Now one more example. So this time we have to give a delivery flag to the orders, okay. If the status is delivered, then termed it as yes, otherwise no. This is our condition. So what columns we need to select for this? We will firstly select order ID, definitely, okay, order ID, comma, then we will write if order status is showing as delivered, then the value will be yes, comma. If the condition is not fulfilled, if order status is not showing delivered, then the value should be a no, and give this name, and this is a delivery flag. The name of this column is delivery flag, okay. From which table? From orders table. Now let's run it. So here you have order ID and their delivery flag. So how many orders we can see are delivered? 1, 2, 3, 4 orders are delivered, as their delivery flag is yes. Now we will see nested part, okay, means there are so many conditions, multiple options when we have, and the multiple options are if the total amount is greater than 5,000, 10,000, then termed it as premium, okay. If it is greater than 5,000, then gold, otherwise regular. So this is a case of nested statements. Okay, so firstly we will select our column. So our column is order ID, we need to select, and then after that we will apply if concept. So if total amount is greater than or equal to 10,000, okay, then say it as, termed it as premium. Here this is the condition. If this condition satisfy, then give the value as premium, okay. But if the condition is not satisfying, then what we will give? We will give another value. So instead of writing another value, we will write another condition here, and for that we will write if, one more if, total amount, okay, is greater than or equal to 5,000, then say it as gold. Else, okay, if this condition is fulfilled, then say it gold. If it is not fulfilled, then say it as regular. This is it. So what we did, we firstly applied one if statement, and inside this was the condition. If this condition is fulfilled, then say it as a premium. If this condition is not fulfilled, then use this. And in this what? We will apply one more if statement where one more condition, total amount is greater than 5,000, then say it as a gold, else say it as a regular. This is it. Now the thing is to now the important part are parentheses. Here this parenthesis, okay, we have to close this parenthesis also. Now we will term it as this column as what? Category. Okay, from orders. This is it. So if there are more than 3 options, okay, 4 options, 5 options, then what we will do? We will increase the, then we will write here one more if condition. Okay, if there is one more option, then we will write one more if condition. So the story will continue like this. And there are chances that we might miss using one parenthesis, or it will be an error. But the main problem, the main reason why we don't use if else much is that we can use if else only in MySQL workbench. It is not there in your Postgre or Microsoft SQL server. Okay, so there is still showing one error, and the error is, yeah, it is orders. Okay, order is a keyword, or that's why we always use orders table. Now let's run it, and this is our result window where we have premium categories, regular and the gold. Okay guys, so I hope it's clear about the case when and if else statements when we can use. So we can use both. It's just that if else might be little messy and we cannot use it in Postgre and Microsoft SQL. So see you tomorrow with our next module. So till then, take care, keep practicing, and we will provide you exercise PDF via email. Okay, and here the questions that you will have to answer in the comment section in your own words. So your first question is, you need to divide customers into premium, gold and regular categories based on their total purchase amount. Which is a better choice in SQL, if or case when, and why? The second one is, when using case when in a select statement, does it change the data stored in the table? Okay, just give this answer using your brain. Or does it only change how the output is shown? Explain in one line, right? So give the answers to these questions in the comment section. Bye bye guys, take care, keep practicing.